So last evening on March the 3rd, the City of Highland Planning Commission finally met to review and to discuss the Verizon cell tower conditional use permit. And in this episode of the Branch Report, I will share with all of you some of the highlights of that meeting, as well as the Commission's ultimate decision. I want to thank you all for joining me today on the Ranch Report. My name is Mark Falcone, and it is Wednesday, March the 4th, 2026. Allow me to get out my usual disclaimer that the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the host, yours truly, and may not reflect the views, thoughts, and opinions of East Highlands Ranch, East Highlands Ranch Board of Directors, or their managing agent, the Management Trust. Okay, so to quickly set the table, if you recall, the Board of Directors of East Highlands Ranch has been in negotiations with Verizon to erect a cell tower on the southeast corner of Church and Baseline Streets behind the Church of God for the last year, more likely the last year and a half. And these negotiations have been done behind closed doors with absolutely zero transparency and zero communication to the membership. It wasn't until late last year, September, October, when I went forth to the membership and explained that a cell tower was going into this location. It was at that time that the board came forward and said, yes, we are looking at placing a tower on that southeast location. Along that same time frame, late in the year, the City of Highland reached out and wanted public feedback regarding the proposed location. And I think I can honestly say that all of us agree that we need better cell coverage here in our community of VHR. Where we differ, however, is where we feel and think that a cell tower should be located. So I want to thank all of you that participated in the process and submitted your comments back in December to the City of Highland. Even those of you that did not submit comments, I want to thank you as well, because I know that you have opinions, and I certainly value your opinion, whether it's in favor or whether it's in opposition to the site. But there were 29 comments that were submitted back in December to the city, and 11 of those 29, or 38%, were in favor of this proposed site, and 18 of the 29, or 62%, were in opposition. Last night at the commission meeting in chamber, there were 6 individuals present. 3 spoke in favor of this proposed location, 2 were in opposition, and the 6th person was a representative for the applicant, Verizon. So when you look at the Highland Municipal Code, and you can find this on the Highland website under Municipal Code by clicking on the search bar and entering 16.45, you're going to be able to pull up all the language of the Municipal Code as it relates to how cell towers are governed in the City of Highland. But I just want to take a moment and read an excerpt from 16.45.040, specifically paragraph D, and it states the following: wireless telecommunication facilities shall be located in the following order of preference. Number 1, co-located with other major wireless telecommunication facilities. In other words, the city, first and foremost, would like to see telecommunication vendors load up existing cell towers. Number 2, on existing structures such as buildings, communication towers, or utility facilities. Number 3, on existing signal, power, light, or similar kinds of permanent poles. Number 4, in employment land use districts. Number 5, in commercial land use districts. Number 6, in residential land use districts, and only then minor facilities are allowed. And finally, in number 7, in the open spaces of the city. According to the code, there is also height requirements for these towers, setback requirements, as well as separation requirements between towers. The staff report regarding this particular parcel on the southeast corner stated that that parcel is designated as a PUD, a planned unit development. In fact, all of VHR is a PUD, a planned unit development. And your PUDs are primarily residential. However, this particular parcel has an underlying designation of neighborhood commercial, which would allow it to be classified as a commercial land use district, therefore allowing a major telecommunication facility to be built on that parcel. In terms of the height requirement relative to the municipal code, when looking at EHR, there is a maximum of a 35-foot height requirement for these towers, and Verizon is coming in with their proposal almost double at 60 feet. There is also a minimum setback requirement to residentially zoned properties of 200 feet. Verizon's proposal is coming back under that 200-foot minimum at 193 feet. And there is also a cell tower existing across the street from this location at the other strip center in the rear of that building. And the separation between the two towers must be a minimum of 500 feet. And Verizon's proposal is coming back at 475 feet. So I've been to many of these commission meetings, city council meetings, and board meetings in the past. And my gut really told me when I walked in last night, because I know how these things work. When these type of projects get to that level, that it's usually rubber stamped and approved. So I fully expected as I walked into chamber last night that this Verizon cell tower location would be approved. And as I sat there in the chamber, the commission spoke on this item alone for about an hour, 15, hour, 20 minutes. So there was some extensive conversation and dialogue and vetting of this project that took place. And as I sat there, I was very impressed at the level of vetting and questions that were being asked of staff by the commission and even of the applicant Verizon. And in fact, just to share some of those examples, the commission was looking to Verizon to replace the lithium-ion battery that is usually found in these cell tower locations with a lead-based battery or a nickel-cobalt battery. They were also looking to have any trees that were to be removed to accommodate the cell tower be replaced at a 2-to-1 ratio. They were looking for additional screening with shrubs, and they were also asking for additional 3 or 4 feet of the faux leaves to be added to the very top of the tower itself. But when it came down finally to the vote, the chairman asked for a motion. And it's my experience that having been to a lot of these meetings and participated in these meetings, that your motions usually fly pretty quickly. But when the chairman asked for a motion on this project, for me, there was a noticeable delay before he got that motion. When he asked for a second to the motion, there was complete silence. The chairman himself had to second the motion. And when it came down to a vote, this project failed. It went 2 in favor of the proposed location, and 3 commissioners were in opposition. So the majority ruled. The 3 commissioners that were in opposition basically stated similar comments, and that the reason why they denied the project was because of the many deviations that Verizon had to the municipal code. So again, this project failed 2-3. It does not mean that it's over. The next steps is my understanding that the Planning Commission staff next month will bring back to the Commission a formal denial, that once that formal denial is approved by the Commission, then the applicant Verizon has the right to, one, bring back the project, repairing the many deviations they have, proposing an alternative location, or bringing the existing project back on appeal to the City Council. So again, this project, even though it's dead for the moment, does not mean that it's over. It's probably going to be another probably 2 or 3 months before we finally see the finality of this project. My gut tells me it will be approved. I don't know for certain, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. So I just wanted to get on here real quick and share that all with all of you. So if you like this podcast, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. But until the next time, thank you for watching The Ranch Report. Take care.